Today is Saturday, July 23rd, 2016, and there's been a very interesting video of Hillary Clinton going around social media within the past couple of days that was actually uploaded to NBC's YouTube page on June the 10th. So the video's been out for a while, but I think the angle that's been floating around social media is more recent, because I think the one that was on NBC News does not really show you the actual angle that people are talking about today or within the past few days. Now, what people are talking about in the past few days is what appears to be video of Hillary Clinton having a seizure. Now, I can't really tell if it's a seizure or not, but it could be. It could be some type of epilepsy going on, a partial seizure. It could be like just a simple convulsion. I don't really know what's going on, but I want to go ahead and show you the video of what happened, and then I'm going to come back and give you my final thoughts.
Every way, and I was very proud to
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it.
In every way.
And how much about Senator Warren? Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it.
It was great. I mean, it was a wonderful, meaningful endorsement in every way, and I was very proud to have
Senator Warren. Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities?
Okay, so you were able to see what's going on. Now, do you think that was a seizure, or do you think that she was just being silly about being bombarded by all those people in that Starbucks or wherever she was at? I'm not really sure what she was, but there were a lot of people around her. Maybe she was just being silly, but my thing is, why would you do that? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to do that. And then when you look at it, I'm going to bring it back up. And then when you look at it and take it in slow motion, you can kind of see how this does not look like just her being silly. Her eyes are shutting tight for a few shudders, and then her head's kind of like jerking, and she's not really there. She's not responding to the question, really. She's talking about whatever kind of beverage she has in her hand, rather than answering the question that was asked by the reporter. It seems very strange, and the thing about it is her health has been a topic of concern for many years, actually. Back in 2008, when she was first running against Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, she had coughing fits, and she's been having coughing fits all throughout this campaign, right? You really don't see Hillary too much on the campaign trail. You see her, but you don't see her as much as Donald Trump, right? And she's not necessarily a spring chicken. She'll be 69 years old in October. So she's getting up there in age. She's only, like a year younger than Trump. And if she was to be elected, which God forbid that happens, but if she was to be elected, she'd be one of the oldest presidents ever elected. So she's up there in age. A medical issue is definitely a concern for someone of her age in general, and then with someone of her history, because she had a situation in 2012 where she had an accident and she fell, therefore developing concussion-like symptoms. She's wearing these very thick glasses occasionally to kind of correct it, because when you're talking about concussion symptoms, you're dealing with a brain injury, and the brain is kind of complicated because the brain, a lot of times it takes different things to make the brain function properly. The glasses could help her with her stability. If she's having any kind of vertigo or double vision or whatever, that may help with that. So I think that's the whole purpose of the very thick glasses she had. And the coughing could be as a result of the concussion, but maybe she had a different illness that was going on, because again, the concussion I think happened in 2012 when she had the accident, but she was having coughing fits at different debates and speech stumps or whatever as far back as 2008, right? And matter of fact, when I say debates, I'm not really sure how many debates she's been at. I've only seen her at the one debate that I can recall, which was the most recent one. I think it had Bernie Sanders and Martin O'Malley from Maryland. She may have been in one other debate with Bernie, but that was when I remember when she left the stage for a very long time. And even the commentators commented on it when it happened, when she left the stage for a very long time, because remember, they had a commercial break or whatever. And I guess during that time, you can go to the bathroom or do whatever you want to do. Now, she did not come back to the stage when the actual camera started rolling again, right? And she kind of got back on stage later after the camera was already rolling. The thing about it is the break was a decent length, right? It was longer than 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, what are you really doing? Are you taking a dump in the bathroom? How long does that take? Are you constipated? What's going on, right? You should be prepared as far as your bathroom situation is concerned before you get on stage, right? Because you can't be late back to the podium. I mean, that's just crazy. I never seen it happen before in my life where you have a debate, they go to a break, and then the leading candidate does not come back to the podium in time, right? It makes no sense. They begin the actual debate without her on stage. It was crazy. And then she had the center podium. It really looked ridiculous when you have still shots of it to not see the leading candidate right in the center point where she was basically anointed. The official story that came out of her camp was that it was something that she was waiting in line for the bathroom, which makes no sense. Do you think that the former first lady is going to wait in a line to use the bathroom? Come on. That makes no sense. She can easily have a bathroom to herself. If anyone's in that bathroom, she could have Secret Service, which I'm sure is still protecting her, to clear out the bathroom, and she can do whatever she got to do. It does not take that long to use the bathroom. You're not going to be waiting in line. You're not going to be in there having girl talk. So what are you really doing? You're on national TV in front of the world. If you come back late, it's not because you had a long bathroom break or because somebody was in front of you and you couldn't get beyond them. That makes no sense, right? Now, what I've seen in an article from Breitbart about her medical condition as it relates to what happened at the debate, which I linked to in the box below, was that her extended break was due to her just trying to catch her breath. Basically, if you're having a traumatic brain injury at an advanced age, I think she was 65 when she fell, and having the resulting concussion and possibly the post-concussion symptoms, she was off of the stage just trying to get herself back together, right? Trying to regain her composure, trying to get back from being dizzy, and all the above. It wasn't about a bathroom break. It was about her personal health break, right? That's what that is. And you add it all up, the coughing, the long break, and then now you have this, which I don't even know what it is. And what I want to do right now is put up somebody having an actual partial seizure. I'm not quite sure if this woman has epilepsy or whatever it is. I think in the description box of her video, which I linked to in the box below, she was saying that she had a inoperable brain tumor and she was going to start having seizures like this as a result of that. So you can look at this woman. You can see how she is kind of moving her head a little bit, right? This is a mild seizure now. It's not like a full-on seizure. And then you can see what Hillary Clinton is doing. Now, what I think happened with Hillary is that it was some kind of mild seizure here, probably due to stress and also the prior concussion symptoms, right? If you have a concussion at age 65, that can do a lot of damage to you. And you see these football players after they've retired, they have very bad medical problems, and their concussions happen when they're very young, in their 20s, maybe even early 30s, but mostly in their probably teen years when they're in high school, college, playing sports, and then also in the pros when they're in their 20s, mostly, because the average career in the NFL only lasts for about 3.5 years. So if you go to the pros at age 21 and then you stay in the league for 3 years, maybe 4 years, you're 25, 26 by the time you're done. And in that time, high school, college, pro, you could have had many concussions and then you may have symptoms afterwards, right? So think about somebody like Hillary Clinton, who was a woman, first of all, and second of all, not a professional athlete, because professional athletes, they train their body to sustain injuries like that and to be able to recover, right? It's kind of hard to recover your brain just from exercise. I don't think that's really possible, but at the same time, you probably be better able to sustain injury and be able to work through it versus someone who's 65 years old and not a professional athlete, right? So I think this is going to weigh on her throughout the actual election. And I hope that she does not have any kind of real medical problems, because I don't wish medical problems on anybody. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, if she has medical problems, if this is epilepsy, if it is a traumatic brain injury as a result of a concussion, if it's post-concussion syndrome, whatever it is, that needs to be revealed and it needs to be dealt with. And if she is not fit medically to become the president, then that needs to be known, because you don't need to go through the whole campaign cycle. I mean, we're pretty much at the end now. She's already nominated. She's already named Tim Kaine as her VP. So that's pretty much going to be what it is going to the DNC. But I think the DNC is going to be a big testing ground to see what's going on with her health, right? Because, again, you had that coughing fits, which has been going on all throughout the entire campaign. And then as far back as 2008. And now you got a situation with her having what appears to be some type of mild seizure or some kind of weird head movement. I don't know what that is. I don't know why she would do that intentionally, right on the campaign trail. It makes no sense. But beyond her having this alleged seizure and the coughing fits and everything else. I mean, then you got the whole email scandal. You know, you got all kind of stuff going on Hillary's head. It's a little bit too much. You know, for her sake, I think that Trump will win. I don't think Hillary is really prepared to be the president because of the health issues and also because of all the scandal. I think winning the presidency would be bad for Hillary, her health, and the state of the country, because if she becomes president, they can't lock her up afterwards. So now you got to violate laws and violate the sovereignty of a country where you just say that the laws don't apply to certain people, right? And you do it in an open and transparent way, really, because you've already said that she's pretty much guilty of certain crimes, but yet you're not willing to lock her up. So at that point, what does it really mean to have any kind of laws, and what does it mean to have a country, right? You're kind of undermining the sovereignty of the nation when you said that the laws don't apply to everybody. And then beyond that, her health is atrocious. The coughing fits, you know, and then she'll kind of go away for a few days to recharge her body. You can't really do that when you're in the White House. You got to have a strict, regimented schedule, making a lot of appearances, and she's not getting any younger. If she was to be elected, she would be 69 when she goes in and 73 when she comes out, right? For her first term. So if she gets elected again, which I don't think she can run again, I think this really is a last ditch effort. And you got to understand this. Her husband was in the White House. He got nominated, 24 years ago? 24 years ago. Think about how long that is. And they weren't really that young back then. So at the end of the day, I think her time was come and gone. You know, Bill Clinton, he was a good president to many, not to me. He did mostly bad things, but some good things. The good thing he did was the crime bill, even though that was not necessarily all slick Willie. That was a bipartisan effort, but I digress. The whole point is, I think they are a thing of the 90s and need to stay there. And I think that Hillary Clinton may be forced to stay there if her health continues to degenerate on a very public level, like what it appears to be. So what do you think? Do you think that this is just an overblown situation, that she was just responding to being overwhelmed by the reporters at wherever this was, a Starbucks or whatever it was, and she was just being silly? Now, if that's your assertion, then why was she being silly like that? You understand that anytime you're in public, you can be on camera. It doesn't matter if it's an actual TV crew there or not. If you are in public, you can't be doing stuff like that because it can be disseminated very quickly. And then it just kind of calls you into question, especially when you've been called into question about these very thick glasses to fix your health issue with your concussion and double vision, you having coughing fits everywhere. And then she talks about the coughing fits, talking about, oh, I talk a lot. Well, a lot of folks talk a lot on the campaign trail. So why is it only you, the one that needs all the water? Matter of fact, I'm going to take that back. She is not the only one that needs a lot of water. I mean, look at Marco Rubio. Now, we know Marco Rubio might be just a pill popper or drug addict. He might be on MDMA. You can see the video right here where he's obviously giving himself some kind of pill, some kind of something. I mean, what is he really doing right there? You know? And then you know that he sweats a lot. And Trump said that when he was on a debate stage, he saw Marco Rubio just pouring down with sweat like he was in a swimming pool. He's like, man, are you okay? You know, that's what people, when they take drugs like MDMA to make you sweat a lot, that's what they do. And it also dehydrates you because you're sweating so much and you become thirsty. And you saw what happened when he was on the actual stage giving that response from some kind of debate or whatever that was. Might have been in 2012. And then he became so parched during the speech, like he couldn't continue anymore. And then he tried to sneak out of the camera to get the Poland Spring. I'm like, yo, why would you do that? We can see you. Just like we saw you pop this pill from your pocket, right? You can't hide from the camera. The camera's right in front of you, right? See, that kind of behavior, it can't really persist. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat, Republican, or whatever. You know, Hillary Clinton over here looking like she is a medically unfit person to become the president. Marco Rubio over here popping pills, you know, trying to hide from the camera when he does it, even though the camera is directly in front of his face. It makes no sense, you know? So that's all I got to say. Whatever your comments, theories, concerns are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.